Ogun State Government has intervened to rescue a 4-year-old boy subjected to brutal physical assault by his father in Igboko, Ado-Odo, Ota Local Government Area. The boy's plight was brought to public attention by human rights activist Adetu Onajobi, who shared the distressing video on Instagram showing the boy's visible injuries. The video depicted the young boy with extensive bruises on his back, stomach, and head, prompting immediate action from the Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. Commissioner Adijat Adeleye confirmed that the child has been taken into protective custody where he is receiving comprehensive medical care and emotional support. Acting on reports from concerned individuals, our officials rescued a 4-year-old boy named withheld in Igboko, Ado-Odo, Ota Local Government Area, who has been brutally assaulted by his father, Adeleye stated. She assured the public that the child is stable and responding well to medical treatment with ongoing tests to ensure his full recovery. The alleged perpetrator is now in police custody, and the government has pledged to pursue legal action to the fullest extent. Adeleye reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to protecting vulnerable individuals and its zero-tolerance policy for child abuse, emphasizing that justice will be served in this case. Now, usually we say, spare not the rod and spoil the child. What are your thoughts as regards this story and the abuse there?
But this is a 4-year-old. What rod are we sparing and what child are we sparing? I mean, a 4-year-old can be corrected, but this is brutality and not a case of discipline.
Now, given that spare the rod and spoil the child is usually seemingly misconstrued in several households. That was the angle I was coming from as regards spare the rod and spoil the child. Many people will say, oh no, you must always spank, you must always beat up, and all whatnot. I mean, when you cite that as something that is usually a go-to statement, somebody sees a child, probably acting out of order, you don't beat this child enough. It's usually the first response most people get, people, and I'm talking about both learned people and, people just trying to build themselves. Is usually the first reaction is, oh, you don't spank this person enough. What are your thoughts when you look at this?
You see, we should learn to differentiate brutality, spanking, and correction.
Okay.
When you beat a child or a person for correction, I think the outcome would be different from when it is outright brutality,
right,
even if you had intended it to be a disciplinary measure. But I ask again, what measure of discipline do you want to instill on a 4-year-old that had to lead to physical injury? A 4-year-old, to the best of my knowledge, is still having his thinking faculty, or rather his thinking faculty or ability is still being developed. So what would he would have done that you think that level of brutality would be to correct him? If you ask me, I don't think a 4-year-old can steal. Even if he takes something that does not belong to him, I don't think the word should be steal, because in my thinking, a 4-year-old may not know enough to steal. He may just have seen something which all you need to do is correct him. Don't take something that belongs to you. Taking something that belongs to you is stealing, and if you're stealing with the consequences reeled out.
Right.
And if you do it again, I'll do so to you.
Right.
Then if it does it repeatedly again, maybe you can implement what you said you do. But certainly what you said you do shouldn't be brutality. Maybe if you take it again, I will stop you from watching cartoon for 2 days. Maybe if you do it again, I will spank you, something like that. Maybe if you do it again, I'll deny you your snacks and all that. Even if you have to flog, but definitely once it goes to brutality as described here, it is no longer an act of discipline, it is something else.
Now, thank you so much for your contribution on that. While the government has gone a step further to, claiming the child and adopting it, do you think this measure is going to what do you think this measure is going to do in the grand scheme of things, as opposed, this is not an isolated incident, it's happening in many households. Do you think that taking children that are abused from their parents is going to pose a better way to go about it, as opposed to sensitizing parents so they will behave better and treat their children better?
both should go, both should go, sensitizing parents on the need to, treat their children better. Then those who fail to imbibe those teachings, you can have those children taken away from them. And I don't think any right thinking father wants his child, or even mother wants his child taken from him or her. But if it is proven that you can't take care of that child, maybe you're not in the right frame of mind, because I think that is even something that should be suggested. This father, what is his state of mind?
Right.
Should he be subjected to a psychiatric test?
Evaluation.
Yes, to know his thinking. But whatever the case is, if it is proven that you have become a danger to that child, that child has become endangered under your custody,
Right.
I think it is absolutely in order for the government to take that child away from such a parent or guardian, at least as long as it take for that child should be away from them, as long as it take for the parents to have a rethink and realize that they erred in their treatment, and maybe have a change of mind in their thinking that, oh, we would be a better parent going forward. Until that happens, I think it's in order to have that child taken from such a parent, because that child is also a citizen of the country and the government, and the government has a responsibility of protecting lives and property, including that of that child.
Thank you.